Hello and welcome guys, welcome to my ride. Today I want to take you with me on a trip through the beautiful Tuscany region of Italy. I was riding with my BMW R1200 GS motorcycle with hard luggage, and my girlfriend was on the back. We started our tour from the capital of Austria, Vienna. We decided to take the car and motorcycle night train to get to our starting point of the tour, which was Livorno. So we started at the Vienna Central Station, where we had to load our motorcycles onto the train. Loading the motorcycle onto the train wasn't as easy as expected, because you had to literally ride your bike onto the train. Riding on the back of a train is a pretty wobbly experience, and you had to keep your head down because the headspace was pretty limited. We booked a sleeping compartment, and after a hot 12-hour train ride, we finally arrived in Livorno. It took about 2.5 hours to get off the train and start our ride. Another thing we immediately noticed was the heat. It was 40 degrees Celsius, which is 104 degrees Fahrenheit. After a short ride through the beautiful landscapes of the Tuscany, we arrived at the first stop, the beautiful city San Gimignano. San Gimignano is known as the town of fine towers and is famous for its beautiful architecture. It is pretty unique because it has preserved about a dozen of its tower houses, which, with its hilltop setting and encircling walls, form an unforgettable skyline. We were already pretty exhausted from the high temperatures, so we took a little lunch break in this beautiful city. Now we were riding in the direction of the most famous city in the Tuscany, Florence. Florence was a center of medieval European trade and finance, and it was one of the wealthiest cities of that era. It is considered by many academics to have been the birthplace of the Renaissance, and it became a major artistic, cultural, commercial, political, economical and financial center. After 6 hours of riding, we arrived in the pretty crowded city, and we had a hard time finding our hotel in those narrow and crowded streets. Now let's have a closer look at this stunning place. After 2 beautiful days in Florence, we headed in the direction of the city of Parma. On our way out of Florence, there was really heavy traffic, which wasn't easy to handle with the big and fully loaded GS. Considering the weight of the bike itself, the luggage, my girlfriend and me, we had a total weight of about 450 kg, which is equal to 995 pounds. After this tough city ride, we were rewarded with a visit to the beautiful town of Forte di Marmi. We had a great lunch and a swim in the ocean, which was amazing for relaxing a bit. We put on our leather suits again and headed in the direction of the mountains. You should know that Forte di Marmi is a unique city because the ocean and the mountains are only separated by a 15-minute ride, which creates an incredible panoramic scene. Due to heavy rain, we decided the next day to take the highway to our new hotel, which was on the Garda Lake. Fortunately, there was no rain at all at the lakeside and we had a great time there. Our hotel even had an elevator for cars and motorcycles, which was pretty impressive to me. The next morning, we decided to explore the surroundings. Our research really paid off because I found an abandoned station, which we decided to explore. The radio station was built in 1955 and was used for long-range communications with the US, Canada and Alaska. The station was left by the military in 1995. I have to admit, the way to the station was one of the most impressive rides I have ever had when it comes to landscapes. Our next stop was Vittorio Veneto. On the way, we were riding the whole day in horrible weather conditions. It was raining non-stop, which was really annoying because it was cold and we had to be extra careful when riding. We also rode to the Monte Grappa Memorial, where we were supposed to have a nice view, but because of the bad visibility, all we could see was a big wall of fog in front of us. The next day, we crossed the border to Austria and had 2 days off at the beautiful lake Wörthersee. Then we headed back to our hometown, riding the beautiful Knockholm Road. Another thing I wanted to mention is that when riding a motorcycle you have to anticipate what will happen every second. As you can see in this situation, I saw a group of bicycle riders on the street and the car in front of us slowed down, used its indicators and overtook them. But the motorcycle rider behind me was pretty impatient, so he was not able to see the obvious maneuver of the car ahead of time. As you can see, he almost crashed into the car, but fortunately no other traffic was coming and he was able to swerve around it. Glad that nothing happened, I was able to enjoy this beautiful mountain ride before we headed back to our hometown. I hope you also enjoyed the beautiful Italian roads as I did, and I hope I'll see you again next Sunday. Stay safe, ride your ride, goodbye.